Hello my friends, in today's episode on Grainificent. In today's episode I will be doing a little review of the Olympus 35 RC film camera. So the Olympus 35 RC is a compact rangefinder type camera from the 1970s that has garnered a positive reputation among photography enthusiasts for its blend of portability, ease of use, and high quality results. The Olympus 35 RC is known for its small build, compact build. It's not too heavy, but it does have some weight to it, so you can feel that you are carrying something in your hand, not just a little plastic toy. So it is highly portable and ideal for street photography or travel photography because you don't have any ginormous lens sticking out. You have a tiny lens, little pocketable camera. You can just walk around, focus, and take the shot. And the shutter ain't loud as well. Just a little click, because it doesn't have a curtain. It just has a leaf shutter in the lens itself. So like I already said, it has a metal build, so it's not heavy, but you can feel that you have something in your hand. So it's not going to break easily. The viewfinder is very readable with all the settings inside the viewfinder, and focusing patch, it depends on how much light you have. In a high contrast point, you could focus very easily. In very low light conditions it might become a little harder, but during the day you shouldn't have any problems. And since it's a 42mm, the depth of field will be at f16 in a sunny day quite deep, so you could just do little range focusing. You don't have to be too accurate because at f16 there will be a lot in focus, so you don't have to worry about that. So the camera features a 42mm f2.8 Olympus E Zuiko lens. This lens, from what I read online and the photos I took with this camera, you can see that it's no strange thing that they are praised for their sharpness, and a lot of people also say color rendition. I didn't do any color photography on this camera. I'm not much into color photography. I prefer black and white photography, so that's what I do the majority of my time. So that's why I made only black and white photos with this camera. The aperture hole, it has only 4 aperture blades and they are flat. So when you're changing the aperture, you actually have a square that's growing in size, bigger and smaller. So if you don't have a round aperture hole, you have a square aperture hole. So more on that in the video about how to use this film camera. The only thing that might annoy some people, but it's not that big of a problem, is that the rangefinder, the view lines in the viewfinder, are not coupled to the rangefinder. That means if you focus, the lines don't move to correct for the parallax. So if you're taking photos up very close, you might have the photos taken a little bit more to the side than you see in the viewfinder, because the viewfinder doesn't move to correct for that parallax effect. So you have to be careful about that. The camera does offer both completely manual exposure and it has some automatic functions as well. You could, when you set your ring to A, this camera has shutter priority mode. You choose the shutter and it will decide itself what aperture the camera should use to take that specific photo. But you have to watch out there, because if you get into the underexposure or overexposure, the camera senses that the settings aren't right and can't be right for a specific scene, it won't allow you to take a photo. Like you see, I have set here 1/500th of a second on automatic. It's not going to allow me to take a photo because there's not much light here. If I would direct it like towards my light, it took a photo because it was proper amount of light reaching the light meter at that time. On the automatic mode, you don't give it enough light, it's not going to allow you to take the photo. If you want complete manual control, you could manually set the aperture setting you want and take a photo anytime you want, underexposing or overexposing the film won't matter for the camera then. It just limits you on the automatic exposure. And the ISOs on this camera go up to 800 ISO, down from 25 ISO. So if you want to use higher ISO film, you would have to use it in complete manual to have more control over the aperture and the shutter speed. Because in the automatic mode, the camera won't allow you to use film higher than 800 ISO. And the shutter, of course, goes from 1/15 of a second all the way up to 1/500th of a second, with the option of bulb mode. And the flash sync is here marked at 1/30th of a second, and the light meter is on the side over here. It's a CDS light meter, that means cadmium sulfide, and the aperture goes from 2.8 to f/22. There are other models of this film camera that the aperture can go as wide as 1.7. It depends on the model. This model, the 35 RC, opens up only up to 2.8. Now the battery it uses, it was made for the PX625 battery. That's those old Mercury 1.35 volt batteries. But these days you could easily put in a 1.5 volt battery and the exposure will be a little bit off, but it's not going to be too noticeably off. I think from what I read, the camera on automatic mode, it would underexpose by 2/3 of a stop. So that's usually not that noticeable on film, but you could buy adapters and buy the air batteries, the zinc air batteries I think they're called, for hearing aids that have 1.4 volt. I will be doing a whole video about testing the 1.5 volt regular batteries and the 1.4 zinc air, I think they're called, batteries, how they behave on old light meters like these. Stay tuned for that video as well. Now the nice thing this camera does offer as well is with the flash mode, you don't even have to have the battery in. You just set your guide number here on the side of the lens. More on that in the video about how to use it. And walking around with the flash, you just focus, and the camera, according to the distance you focused at, will change the aperture, depending on that and the guide number, for the flash to properly expose the subject. That's an interesting thing as well. That you basically, with the flash, you can run around, just focus and shoot, focus and shoot, focus and shoot. You don't have to worry about no settings whatsoever. So the Olympus 35 RC is one of the cheapest, I would say, rangefinders. Not the cheapest, but one of the cheapest. And comparing with all the options it has and its size, I would say it is a great value film camera to have. Like you see, it fits in the palms of my hands. Like you see here with my iPhone 12 mini. It's a small phone and the camera is smaller than the phone. Of course it's going to be thicker. I'm not comparing that, but like the size comparison, it's not as tall as my phone. So it is easily pocketable and you could carry it anywhere. So the Olympus 35 RC is widely regarded as an excellent compact rangefinder that combines portability, ease of use, and high quality results. It's particularly popular among street photographers and those looking for a reliable, high quality film camera in a compact form. So the common pros are sharp, high quality lens, compact and durable build, user-friendly controls, and accurate rangefinder. But common criticism of this camera are things like limited shutter speed range, because you can only go up to 1/500th of a second, you can't go any higher. And another con is that the metering relies on discontinued batteries, but like I already mentioned, there is walkarounds, and even modern batteries still do a good job on this. I used the modern battery 1.5 volt, and as you see on the photos, it still came out good. So overall, the Olympus 35 RC is celebrated for its ability to deliver excellent image quality in a compact, user-friendly package. If you like this type of camera. If you use this type of camera, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe and hit the like button. It shows me I make helpful and interesting content, and it shows the YouTube algorithm that this video is worthy of showing to others. So thank you for watching, my friends. Take care and see you in the next episode.